Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony. Welcome to another edition of B&A Sports Talk, and we're back. I'm not sure how often I'm going to be back, but I got a new laptop. I'm back, and my old one kind of just crapped out, and it wasn't charged, and then I was like, you know what, I just stopped. But yeah, I'm just going to do this kind of when I have a video idea. Obviously, it's the summer now, and let's go for it. And I want to start off with one of my favorite videos that I make every single 5 years. I did one in MLB, I did one in the NBA, and I did one at the NFL, predicting the next 5 Super Bowl champions. And now let's look back. Let's look back in the last 5 years. How did I do? So, Super Bowl 54, which is the COVID one, right before COVID actually, it was the Chiefs, Niners, and I wasn't even close. I predicted the Chargers, same division, but again, and the Bears. So I don't think either of them made the playoffs. Anyway, next year I predicted the Colts versus the Falcons. Wasn't even close. It was the Buccaneers versus the Chiefs. So, and I was just, I think, so biased at that point with Patrick Mahomes' new contract. I was like, that can't happen. I'm not sure if he actually signed his contract yet, but I was like, this is, the Chiefs haven't been able to do it. I should have just picked the Chiefs. Anyway, the next year, I ended up picking the Giants-Bills. I'm going to pick the Giants in this video again. It's just a rule I have. I want to be an optimistic Giants fan. Instead of the Giants-Bills, it was the Los Angeles Rams versus the Bengals. Not even close. The next year, not even close again. It was the Chiefs and Eagles, and I picked I picked the Vikings and the Bills. There was the Chiefs, Eagles. Yeah, anyway, I was wrong. And then the next one, the final one, it was the Chiefs 49ers. I wasn't even close again. Nope. No, actually, no. I got it completely exactly right. It's so funny, like the year's close. So you're like, oh yeah, I think this team's going to go on a run. And then it turns out the one 5 years later ends up working out. Anyway, let's stop talking about hindsight. I just wanted to brag that I got 5 years out. There would be a Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl. And in that video, I did not say who was going to win, but I would have been sick if I did. Anyway, I couldn't predict Brock Purdy making the Super Bowl. I don't even know who Brock Purdy was. Nobody did. You didn't. Anyway. So let's get into the new video. So this upcoming year, this is my unofficial Super Bowl pick. I think the Lions are going to be good again, maybe a little bit of a drought. And we can go through every single team. I'll kind of give you themes about who I believe in, who I don't believe in. And then after a couple years, it all changes anyway. Like 5 years ago, Matthew Stafford and the Lions were, together. So that's what I thought would be there. But I have the Lions going to the Super Bowl this year. I'm not a believer in the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to go down. The Eagles are going to raise up. The Eagles are going to be a good team. I think the NFC West is going to be frisky. Any single team in that division, besides really the Cardinals, I wouldn't be shocked makes it to the Super Bowl, and that's including the Seahawks, yes. And then the NFCs, we're kind of mentioning those, and the NFC South is just kind of weak. I would be really surprised if any of those teams make it. We'll go on to have those conversations. And then from, later videos. And then from the AFC, I can't pick the Chiefs on a three-peat. I just can't. I'll be wrong because I didn't think they'd do it this year, even in mid-January when they were beating the Miami Dolphins in negative 5-degree weather. So I'm going to have the Bills going this year. Now, I kept on looking on the Browns. I'm just going to say it now. They're not going to be a part of this video at all. I just think they're still hamstrung by the contract. They're going to be a good team, but have a clear ceiling. I think the Texans are going to be good again, but they're going to have a little bit of, I think, a ceiling. Their draft wasn't too good this year, but, they have all the pieces. I wouldn't be surprised. The AFC South, there's a lot of young quarterbacks. One of those, if they have an MVP-type year, could definitely make it. I'm not a believer in the Ravens. I think they're going to fall back, especially with the new defensive coordinator. Don't think their talent's that great. I think Mike McDonald is a really good coach, and they're not going to be able to live up to the expectations. And then, I have the Bills. The Miami Dolphins, cold weather, blah, blah, blah. I don't think the Jets are going to be good. I think there's just an injury waiting to happen. And then the Patriots, not good, and the rest of it. So this year, Bills, Lions, that's my unofficial prediction. Didn't really speak about the Bills a lot. Josh Allen, better offensive line, Deion Dawkins, Osiris Torrance, and you kind of go through the rest of the line. It's good enough. The weapon's not great, but that's the kind of one thing holding them back, and the defense kind of transitioning. So Sean McDermott needs to have a really good defensive coordinator year. So obviously every team has their flaws, and there's no going to be obvious teams. So I'm just going to say the Bills. Next year, I have the Chargers making it. Now, I didn't talk to them in this year. I just think it's going to take a year for them to get ready. But we all see it, like the Texans. Who is their offensive line besides their left tackle, Larry Tunsil? And then all of a sudden, the coach brings up the team. So the Chargers are going to be a playoff team this year. Joe Alt's second year, Rashawn Slater, get some more pieces in, get some more wide receivers, defense, Jim Harbaugh. I think next year they can very well make the Super Bowl. I have that pick. Chiefs not making it 2 years in a row. Transitioning from Travis Kelce, their defense is still going to be good. The Denver Broncos still have a lot of work to do, and so do the Raiders as well. So it's going to be easier to win the division, not easy per se. So they have an easier path there. Bengals, I just don't trust Joe Burrow's health right now to pick him to the Super Bowl, and it kind of sucks. And as you'll see, I don't have him in this video. That you make the Super Bowl in your second year, and it doesn't seem like you're going to get back there. So Chargers are my AFC pick. And then for my NFC pick, I'm going to pick the Eagles. I mean, they just have good players. I mean, their offensive line is going to have to go through a little cycle here with Lane Johnson. But the Chiefs go through cycles with wide receivers and offensive linemen all the time. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith may be paying a little bit too much to the wide receivers, but I do think that they'll be able to make it. Now, the Cowboys, I think they're going to clean house after this year, it looks like, but I do think I'm leaning towards going to give Dak Prescott a contract. I really don't see them walking, so I still think Dak is going to be the quarterback. And then you'll have, you'll have the everybody, they can make it. I'm not ruling them out. Like Green Bay is going to be a sharp competitor. I just think all the things are going to fall right for the Eagles. They're going to be a really talented team. The defensive line, you're going to have all the new guys in with Carter. I mean, what are you going to do at defensive end? I don't know, but you're going to find somebody good out of Josh Sweat, Reddick, and I think they traded Sweat, didn't they, to the Jets? Anyway, it's just they have a lot of good players in the defensive line that they can kind of just cycle in and out of there. They draft good. And the one thing I would say is coaching. I don't really trust their coaching too much, and I kind of ended it this year. But, yeah, that's kind of what I think about that. So the next year, I have the Chiefs. Chiefs are in. What are the odds they're not going to make it 3 years in a row? Now, the Patriots went 10 years without winning. Imagine the Chiefs go 10 years without winning, and the next time they win is 2034. That'd be insane, but it just goes to show you how crazy the Patriots dynasty was. I have the Chiefs. Travis Kelce will be out of there. Patrick Mahomes will still be in there. Andy Reid, tail end of his career, I think, even though I don't know why he'd retire if you have it this good. So just marking down the Chiefs. And then I have the Giants here. They'll have a new quarterback after this year, and they'll be in their second year. Don't know who it'd be. Veterans, I have no idea, but my rule is I have to pick the Giants, and I'm picking the Giants. If I didn't pick them, a team that just mark it in if you don't like the pick here, the pick that I had before anything was Seattle, because I think they'll figure it out with the quarterback. I don't think it's going to be Sam Howell or Geno Smith, but they'll figure out somehow. I think their defense is going to be peaking, and they'll kind of ride their defense this year. But, so there it is. Then next year, I have the Chiefs versus the Rams. Similar to what I did in my first video, I'm just going to pick coach quarterback. The Chiefs make it 2 years in a row. It is what it is. Lamar Jackson, I don't have the Ravens here. I think Lamar Jackson's going to slow down. I really thought this last season, especially when you saw him versus the Chiefs, he looks slower. And it's only going to go down from there. He's a good thrower, but I think it can only take him too far. Even though I wouldn't doubt it, but it hasn't been done. He won 2 MVPs. It hasn't been done. I think his arrow is going downward, although he still may be peaking for a few years. So the Chiefs are going to make it again. They're going to just string up something with all these wide receivers. They're going to have a whole new wide receiver core slate. We'll see how their offensive line kind of develops. I know they've kind of slowly been eating at, picking these guys. Going between veterans and rookies and stuff like that. So they've been trying to fix it, but it's still good. And I think Mahomes at this point will be 32, and he may have his 5th Super Bowl, which is crazy to say because I had them in the previous year. So there's that. And some other teams, it's hard to see. The Jets are going to have a whole new franchise, and I don't trust the Jets as a franchise in general to go. The Patriots with Drake May, this is where you start to mention them. It's really going to depend on how they develop them. I just don't trust them to be here at this point. I think Patriots are good and all, but then it's one of those things like the San Antonio Spurs, who have Victor Wembanyama now, but you get the point where it's, okay, the Detroit Red Wings, they had their time, but it's not their time anymore, and then they'll kind of be in the doldrums of it. So there's that. And this is where I'll start saying Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos, if Sean Payton has his guy, the thing is, with now the NFL, things are so much shorter lived where I could just see that thing already having blown up. already, right? I mean, you thought the Russell Wilson thing would last a long time in Denver, and it lasted so shortly. So he'll still be on his rookie deal, but I'll start mentioning that. And then I mentioned the Rams. I'm just mentioning it because Sean McVay. He'll find somebody. Is he going to retire? I don't know. But all this young talent that they keep getting on their team, it's going to be good. Like I said, I wouldn't be even shocked if they make a run at it this year. And then finally, for the final year in 2029, Super Bowl 60? No, 62, 63. I have the... Oh, look at my list. Because initially I had the Denver Broncos in there, but I'm looking at it now. I'm like, I don't believe it. I'm going to say Jim Harbaugh makes it again with Justin Herbert and the Chargers. So 4 years AFC West in a row. Again, we're talking about things a long time. I wouldn't even be shocked, and I may edit this in post, that the Texans make it. And I made a video about like CJ Stroud's going to be like a $65 million quarterback at that point. And I'll just throw in the Bears. CJ Stroud versus Caleb Williams developing. And I'm not ruling anybody else out. Not everyone can make the Super Bowl every single year, which is why this video is fun and miserable at the exact same time. I saw a NHL like AI guess who'd be the MVP for the next 10 years, and Sidney Crosby was it in 2029. And at that point, he'd be like a 44-year-old MVP. Anyway, off topic. But yeah, that's my prediction. And I didn't pick the Cowboys because the Cowboys haven't made in 30 years. So why would I pick them now? But the same thing you say about the Lions and the Bengals in the last video. So I don't know. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. It only ended up being about 12 minutes. And see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.